Well, pitter patter, let's get at her. It's Joe the Bull Guy, and welcome to Monday's podcast. We have, as always, Nicole and we have Jimbo. How was everybody's weekend? How were we doing?
Good. Really progressive, real productive. I mean, not progressive. Well, I guess
I was
progressive,
gonna say,
but
what
also
kind of
productive.
progression you making?
Yes,
Like women voting, like that's progressive. No, I'm
yes.
just messing with you. Go ahead.
Right. So we got a lot of. I finished my whole front, all the beds for the flowers and the plants, and I got my little fairy garden down, and I just feel like little Betty Crocker, but
There
without
you
the
go.
food. Without the food.
If you had red hair, I would have said Jane Seymour, Little House on the Prairie. Jim remembers that one. Everybody
Oh, and
does.
also, guys, I'm not at Nicole C Loves Recovery anymore. For recent whatever reasons, we have changed it, and now I'm at Good Vibes Nicole. So we're still doing the recovery thing. It's still a recovery page, but we just changed the name a little bit.
Let's go with the rebranding. Jimbo, how was your weekend? Could you tell us about the restaurant? How's everything working out? We doing good? We on the up and up?
It's still moving forward. It slowed down. We just got more equipment in now. We're pretty much waiting for our inspections. All of our licensing and inspections. Hopefully, that'll be done in the next 14 days. Spent the weekend, had a huge catering job, 125 wedding reception, 125 people, and my oldest daughter got to help. So it was really good spending the day with her. So
Let's
it's
go.
been stressful, but you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it was a very productive weekend.
Hey, listen, you sometimes you got to look for that light at the end of the tunnel. It's not always visible, but you'll find it. And
Yeah,
when you
Small
do,
steps
you
sometimes.
head
Small
right for it.
steps for the
for
big
sure.
Hey,
one.
it's 5 minutes at a time. That's all you need, man. That's
How
all
about
you
you?
need.
How about your weekend, brother?
Oh, well. Hey, Vern, how you doing?
Hi, Miss
Hey,
Vernon.
Brian.
My weekend was interesting. Well, let's put it this way. We we're getting ready for a little bit of a transition at home. We I got a phone call for a July 11th show, so that's pretty cool. So I will be doing slam comedy here in Pittsburgh in Bloomfield, so that's going to be cool. We got called from Miami asking if we would like to come back. Might have a show in Beverly, Ohio. So, you know, things are going. I mean, it was a very productive weekend. Got a lot of things edited. Did the new poster for the actually I can't
Can
even.
we see?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know what? Why don't I just pull it in here? Let me see.
Nice.
That's so
Uh,
cool. Sounds like some
uh,
really good things are about to happen, Joe. That's awesome. And things
they're
are
getting
already happening.
they are getting there, that's for sure. It is just sometimes it's a little hard. Okay. I
Yeah.
should have opened it. Where'd you go?
We say success.
Come on.
It's hard. It takes time.
Let's go with the share the image. Like it's right there. Click, open. There it is. Bam. Look at
I
that.
love it. Look how cool it is, guys.
The mental intervention tour. Let's go. So my buddies Adam Schroeder and Zach Conklin and EA Honick is going to be there as well. He's our musical guest and co-host. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Sometimes you gotta get first of
So
all,
cool.
oh listen, I was thrown in the washing machine is what the fuck happened there. But yeah, I'm stoked. The only thing is this is not the final poster. The pants will be changed to white. That's the only difference because it looks more institutionalized with white pants than black pants. Let's be realistic. But yeah, that's so tour dates are going to be coming out here soon, and the
I
state
love it.
to you. Let's go. So
Thanks
yeah,
for
That
it's a
looks
good
sharing with
time.
us. That was awesome.
that's
My
badass.
pleasure. My pleasure. It's yeah, I'm stoked, and I'm definitely going to get one of those printed once the dates and states are on them, and I'm going to put that so in our new. We're going to be transitioning from here to our now office. So we're going to have a completely stream friendly environment for the podcast and for TikTok. So new backgrounds, new shit. So keep watching because it's going to get a little hairy here for a minute. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Change is always fucking rough, but with change comes better possibilities and better growth. So men's mental health, if it taught you anything, because it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, um, sometimes the path can be a little rough. Sometimes the path can beat you the fuck down. Case in point, last week today, I was met with mortality twice. One fucking trip to come home, which should have been a great trip, and it was a great trip, but the ending was a little rough. Do I let that define me? Never leave my house, never get on a plane again, never go and do things? You got to figure out your way out of that. Like Jim said earlier, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a light at the end of that fucking tunnel. For some people, there isn't, like Elon, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's a nice little segue into well, there was this feud going on with Elon and Trump. If anybody doesn't know this, I'll give you a brief
Yes.
little
Huge feud.
like he
To the
literally
point where, like, Trump doesn't even care if he's never talks to that motherfucker again. Like, that's how bad
So
it is.
I think, and before we get into this, I'm going to give you my theory, and we're going to listen to it, and then I want you to formulate your own theory. But my theory is this, very simply pushed. Hey, what's up, Wesley? My theory on this is that Tesla sales were down. Tesla was suffering. He wasn't making the money he thought he would make by backing the person he backed. I think that at the end of the day, this is all just a childish pissing match. I think it's a measuring of peckers. I know who it is, Wes. I know, but I called you Wesley. Um, but that's what I think it is. I think it's just a who's got the bigger wang, in my honest opinion. And I mean, look, Jim, you were in the military, right? We're not going to go deep into it, but that was a pissing match. True or false?
So I have my own theory of
Okay.
this whole
Let's
thing.
hear it.
But could you tell me, was it like a pissing match? Like, who had to be the best and who had the bigger dick, who could eat the more MREs, who could go longer without, like, it's in all facets of jobs and stuff, right? Like, even in
It is.
kitchens.
And I think that in my theory, the beginning of what you said is I believe that it stemmed from just his stock going down, him losing probably hundreds of millions of dollars. I think this is planned by the two of them, that they're going, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make this like we're beefing. We're not friends anymore. We are, but this will help you get back what you've lost. And we're still cool, but to the public, we're going to act like we're beefing and we're fighting, and you're going to start getting some money back in your pocket. That's my theory.
I don't know. Elon did say some bad stuff about Trump to the point where it could affect him with the Jeffrey F. We don't have to go too much into that one, but
he's not. They would have got him already if that was.
He's on the files. That's what Elon said.
Listen, that's all propaganda.
If he was on that file, it would be out already.
It would have been out. Trust me. Let's put it this way: if he was actually on those, the left would have literally cut themselves off and said, "Look, here, you know what? Buy one for the team so he doesn't get in, and we back the puppet again." Guaranteed. If that card was there, they would have played it.
Well, they said it's never been shared to the public until Elon mentioned it. And
you're telling me, out of all the documents, here's a better question: why would he go after that list in the first place and shake that tree knowing he'd be on it?
True.
Like, you're basically saying, here's the skeleton, and I'm not saying you're wrong. And we're just.
It's like WWE.
You know,
in front of the lights, they're the worst enemies, but after the show, they're sharing drinks and they're best friends. It's what the public sees, and to give you a persona of the person to help him, because I feel he was losing a lot of money.
Oh, he lost.
Buying Teslas,
this is my theory.
No, people are not buying Teslas. That's the thing. So at the end of it, their sales have went down so much, because if you think about it, the right side of the aisle usually goes for the gas guzzler. They want the fucking freedom. They don't want to be tied down to an electric station, right? So there's other on the left side. They're like, save the environment, let's go. Which I'm not saying don't save the environment, right? Like, obviously we have to be conscientious about the world we live in, because we leave this to our children, right? But Tesla went from, and Tesla's garbage anyway, but Tesla's here, right? And then their stocks started to plummet once he tied his wagon to it because the Democrats stopped doing it. And then people started randomly lighting it on fire, which was first of all, you buy an electric car, and here's my pitter patter rant of the fucking day. Jim remembers these back in the day, don't we, Jim? Here it is. I'm gonna get on my little soapbox. You buy a fucking Tesla to save the environment and light it on fire. Why don't you just wipe your ass with your hand and then eat food afterwards? Same fucking concept. You literally bought something that should help you and then fucking lit it on fire, which made it 10 times worse for the environment than driving a diesel car.
I thought people liked the Tesla.
Are you?
Like
No, people like the
influencers were
idea.
buying them, or is it now
People
like
like the idea of Tesla. That's the thing. They like I drive a Tesla. It's bougie. It's a status symbol. I'm saving the environment. It's like those pick me girl. I didn't know what this phrase was, right? The pick me movement that's going on. It's the, oh my God, I'm just so beautiful. And you should just, like, we see them on TikTok all the time. Let's be fucking realistic. They're everywhere, right? Like, oh my God, if you don't like me, go off. Same thing. That's what the whole thing was, just to say, I have a bigger penis. I have more money than you do because I drive a self-driving car. Actually, people are buying them more now once they are traded in than when they were new. Exactly. Well, here's the other thing too.
Wait, what do you
I'll give
mean
you this.
traded in? Wait, what?
Like, there's people are trading in the car to get rid of it, to get either a new model or whatnot. So people are getting the cheaper ones. The funny thing with that, Wes, is Uber, and I know this because I drove for Uber, they actually offered you, if you bought a Tesla or rented a Tesla, they would actually give you twice the fare.
Really?
So, yeah.
Why
So
was
if you were driving a more economic car, it wouldn't cost you any more money. It would just be, instead of me getting $2, I'd get $4. Interesting, right? So a lot of those are going that way. So I'm wondering if these purchases that are inflating the market just slightly due to that versus actually people buying them, because a lot of people bought these Cybertrucks because they're bulletproof, right? But did you anybody seen the one trying to pull a fucking Toyota? It was a Honda Civic out of a fucking ditch, and literally the winches, they mounted the winch on a plastic bumper. Mistake number one. Here's your sign. Mistake number two. Let's hook it up to a car that anybody could have lifted out of the ditch, right? Throws it in, and you watch the bumper go from flat to fold to boom, gone. And it literally slammed into the Honda's windshield.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I died laughing. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. 8-bit truck. Right. And here's the thing. You get in these things, you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for this shit. And it's like a fucking video game made in the 80s. Like, I trust the Tesla about as much as I trust that little submarine thing that went down with the PlayStation controller. We saw how that went.
So the difference between all electronic cars to a Tesla is that Tesla has the drive itself mode, right?
Well, a lot of these cars have some of those capabilities where they like lane assist, brake assist, adjust your speed. That was the true self-driving car that was 100% electric. There is no gas in that whatsoever. That motor is a lawnmower that they made back in like, I think the 60s. Was the first electric lawnmower. No joke, right? So they're taking old technology, figuring out how to put a better battery in it and making it last longer, right? You were supposed to get more mileage. It's supposed to be better for the environment. It had all these cool things. You can change the horn to the Dukes of Hazzard horn if you want. I don't know who from the South is driving that, but hey, more power to you.
Hey, I like Dukes of Hazzard. Let's go.
I like it too, but not in a Tesla. You want that GTO, like as it grows.
Movie. No.
Okay. You want to smell the fucking octane burning through.
I want that movie.
No, you just like something bumping up into Jessica Simpson's under.
Yes, dude. My first car, I had a bass. Let's go.
Jesus. I
by the way, I don't have an any or an Audi, by the way. Let's just saying.
Oh my God. Let's not go back.
You missed out on a fun podcast.
So did Vern. She talked about how some lippy vajayjays.
Oh, because people are getting labiaplasties. And I'm like, do I need a labiaplasty? I'm like, I don't think they don't hang that. I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know. We got on topic. You started talking about innies and outies, and I'm just not an
So,
innie or an outie.
you know what the common trend is? If you get a Tesla, you might as well get a labiaplasty. Let's go. I'm just throwing it out there.
I
That's
don't
just
know.
my take on it.
They want to.
I
I
don't know
remember
where
it
the
was,
correlation went to, but we jumped that bridge from talking about cars to a subwoofer. What did you do with that? So did you sit on that subwoofer? Is that what happened? You
yes,
turned on the first song and
no,
sat on
we
it
did
like
all
in
the time.
fucking Howard Stern. You remember that, Jim? Where he's
Yeah.
like, sit on the speaker. I don't know. That's just me.
I'm sorry. That was a bad
Like,
timing. I should have waited. I'm sorry.
That was a great part of that movie and that episode too. But yeah, no. At the end of the day, I mean, really, yeah, you want to hear that music as you jump in a bridge for 100%, not in a Tesla that stops
No.
you because it saw a paper bag in the middle of the road. And again, I'm not knocking the car. If you want to buy that, go ahead and buy it. But don't lie to yourself and say I'm doing it for the environment. No, you're doing
They're
it.
ugly.
No, look at the Cybertruck. The damn thing looks like
I
a
mean, yeah, that's
fucking
what's ugly. The
shoebox.
Cybertruck are ugly.
Right, and then they come in these weird ass colors, which fine, okay. You know, the Barracuda was a weird color
Those look
back
like
then.
what alien the UFO should be coming out of.
We're not going back to Area 51. Stop with the probe. You're going to get Vern
Oh.
started on Jim and his asshole. You don't need to
Speaking
go there.
about speaking
here
about
we go.
Area 51, I heard today that they declassified some information that, and like the most of the information that was coming out, the leaks were actually government leaks that they put out on purpose to
Yeah,
gear
breadcrumbs.
people away from the actual, like the stealth
True.
bomber being built and all the military things that they were doing. So they're like, let's throw them this goofy bone, and how many people, chased it down that there were aliens and all this other stuff out there.
Yeah, CIA had an
It was a,
actual office just for the UFOs sightings, supposedly.
I'm just saying.
We
First
talked
of
about
all,
that on Friday.
sleight of
But
hand.
that's so great that you brought that up. I didn't know that. I didn't see
It's
that
sleight
much.
of hand. It's sleight of hand, and it's always been that way. The government's always going to, and not to sound like a complete conspiracy nut, but you know what? Let's sound like it. Let's get our tinfoil hats out, ladies and gentlemen. But they're always going to have you look here while they're doing some dumb shit here, whether it's politics or national security. And this national security blanket that they throw over everything is fucking ridiculous, in my opinion. Look, if I sneeze wrong, it's not national security. It's I got a fucking cold. Okay. Oh my God, he has a cough. National security. We have to close the board. National security. Oh, somebody sold a raw hamburger at fucking Wendy's. National security.
Yeah.
Like we throw that around so much to blanket everything that they don't want anybody to know about. Like
Ah,
JFK again, right?
Sorry.
National security.
I love you, Ryan. Yes.
Jesus, Vern. I feel like maybe probing was made up because aliens hope to learn from on an ass. Exactly. Like, look, this is why I don't play in the booty hole. I don't eat ass.
I
Jim
mean,
and I
dogs,
on this.
dogs sniff each other's booty, and they found out a lot about each other. So maybe there's something about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that they smell like shit. That's exactly what they found out about each other. Oh,
Smells
yes,
like
I smell
roses,
copper and
supposedly.
shit. Oh, she's in heat. Like that's literally what they're going for. You know what I mean? Jim's like, oh well. He's like, I'll do it. But anyway, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I don't know. They've dropped these, and Jim, you and I've had these like huge discussions at like 4 a.m. after a couple of bottles of bourbon of like linchpins. You know what a I know you know it. Nicole, have you ever heard this term linchpin?
No, I know what a lynch is,
Okay.
but not a linchpin.
No. No, it has nothing to do with that. No. We're not even going there.
I'm
A
just
lynch-
saying. Oh, whips.
No, I got you. A linchpin, in case that no one knows it in the chat either, a linchpin is a pinnacle thing that has to happen. If that happens, everything above it falls like dominoes, right? So think of a linchpin, the Epstein trials, right? They pulled that pin, all the Democrats started to fall, right? And then all the Republicans.
Okay. It's like an analogy, a
So it's
metaphor.
well, linchpin is a specific catalyst, a specific thing that can change the outcome of whatever's going on. So, like in war, okay, not to go too deep into this because we're not trying to go down that road, just for everybody's, well-being. But in war to take over a government, you would do a series of things, right? So you would discredit the current government, you would show some kind of thing, and these are all linchpins. And once they get pulled, it's almost like the pin on a grenade, right?
It's like a dominoes effect.
Exactly. Series of controlled explosions that end up taking out, like this whole thing. So I really believe that Area 51 being declassified and to throw everybody off from the stealth bombers, which they made most of those things in the East Coast anyway, which is why during a certain tragedy, which we will not get into, had problems with because certain planes were going certain places. Why? Because of these facilities. They weren't headed to Area 51. You know what I mean? They were headed here. So what's that Area 51? I don't believe it's the bombers and the stealth planes. I don't believe that at all. I think that's a bunch of horse shit too. Because it's, again, watch this hand while we do this shit. Just to declassify this crap, right? Which they might have learned this propulsion technology from where? This camouflaging technology from where? Oh, we're not going to see this as we move this to NORAD. Or we move this to the, I don't know, the Persian Gulf. Who the fuck knows where they're putting it? But I don't trust it. The more that I've learned over the years and the more cynical bastard I become, yeah, our government's up to no good. I don't fucking trust them.
Well, I mean, Dinesh has already put that out there with what he's been uncovering, and he put it out on national television when they said, "Well, what about what about the Kennedy assassination?" He goes, "Well, what you think happened is what happened."
Exactly,
and that's how he goes. What you believe is what happened. And then he said, "How about 9/11?" He goes, "Nobody's ready to know the truth about 9/11." And that's all he said.
Right. And here's the problem, though.
He said it on national television. Nobody's ready for that yet.
But you have people in power making the decision of what we can and cannot handle.
I hate that.
But once you do that, that's how we are controlled, right?
Right.
And this is not a riot kind of podcast. I'm not trying to end up on the no-fly list, Homeland. This is just speculation. This is just Monday night, take our week off the right way. You fucking did it, you bastards. I know you did. But anyway, so like the point is, at the end of the day, it can be all speculative, just for satire purposes, we'll say. But these are a lot of good questions and a lot of things that happen that people just turn a blind eye to. A lot of people don't realize, like Sun Tzu, know thy enemy better than your friend, right? Like keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Go around them instead of through them. The path that leads to resistance sometimes might be the more profitable one. All of these lessons that all of these great minds from before any of us had a cell phone, internet, Red Bull, fucking what, right? No, truthfully, like think about it. Even Burns, battery operated toys. Even before that, right? All of these things, these guys had the fucking roadmap beforehand, right? They had this roadmap, and these people have played it over and over again. The biggest thing is history's cyclical, right? The Mandela effect came into all of this shit because they wanted to slowly change it so that we thought we were crazy, so generations would forget. Steamboat Willie, one of the most iconic fucking cartoons, which is of Mickey Mouse, right? He's whistling, right, on the boat. Everybody remembers. What did he do, right? Mm-hmm. He held his fingers out with the fucking suspenders. Guess what's not there? If you go watch it today, no suspenders. Go look at the Ford logo. The Ford logo is not the same. If you see any old car at a classic car show that has the original Ford logo on it, go look at the Model T. Go look at it. You will see. Now, if it's in a museum, it's different. But if you see it on a car in a car show, it is exactly the same as the way it was. These are subtle things that they try to pull over our faces to make us the sheep, so that a country divided, a country dumb, is like the Ozempic train too. Like that's another fucking thing. I mean, we could do a whole fucking podcast on both of those. The Ozempic thing is just that everybody's taking this to lose weight. Anytime you've ever tried to lose weight and it's been quick like that, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Are you talking about the one that's all over Snapchat?
Yeah. Remember
my friend's on it.
Remember, was it like the mid-90s, early mid-90s when
Black Beauties?
when Fen was real big, everybody was dropping weight, and then all of a sudden they're like, stop.
Diet pills are so bad.
You guys, it's causing so many people to have heart attacks because it's phentermine. It was straight.
Yeah, it's like
phentermine. That was the fen. Phentermine was in it.
doing
he
that.
was doing that, but yeah.
Meanwhile, we
No,
would go to
it's-
Utah and
It was
buy
bad.
straight phentermine over the counter because you could
Right,
get it
in the
in
gas
certain
station.
states because of asthma.
Well, you also know those from the Black Beauties. That's literally all of that shit is what like
The late
really
80s and early 90s was Rip Fuel that you could go to the vitamin shops and get. Rip Fuel was like straight speed.
I remember that. I remember it was terrible. Like, when that's the thing.
Mhm.
So all of these things are meant of a way to control us. First, we needed to gain more weight, right? We weren't eating the pyramid, right? And how many times do you remember that pyramid that changed, right? You need so many grains, you need so many sugars, you need so many carbohydrates. Then
And that's come out how horrible that is for you.
right. So I don't trust, and that came from the National Health Association, if I'm not mistaken, or the nutritional or some fucking FDA.
That was
Somebody-
backed by the corn farmers and the people that own like corn and wheat and stuff like that. So they're like, you should not be eating this many grains, people. This is not good for your body. That it's
Right.
coming out
Now you
now.
have
You're
everybody-
saying that was pushed by the government with all, owning all the corn and the wheat and
And why? Because then we had ethanol, right? Then we
Mhm.
had the EA85, which was made from corn, right? Again, all things that go back to the government trying to control shit. So, like Nicole is about to get into with the whole pissing match with Trump, which we kind of got derailed from, that's legitimately, it's literally the same thing. Watch this hand and don't
Yeah.
look at what this is doing. Go ahead, Nicole. You said that if I'm not mistaken,
Okay,
we have some
so
quotes.
it's about a bill. It's a travel ban bill that they passed. The biggest is the feud was Musk accusing Trump of being in the files of Infamous, but we already talked about that. And then Musk was heavily criticized for the statement. Public feud was over legislation passed by the U.S. House that the president has proclaimed the big beautiful bill. That's what they're calling it, the big beautiful bill. And pretty much what it is Trump stating that the truth. So I'm sorry, I have this all scattered. I wrote notes. I apologize, but pretty much this is about a travel ban, and Elon doesn't like it because it affects him and his stuff.
Well, it fucks him and his family. It affects his workers. He
And he
is
says that
notorious.
it's the easiest to save taxpayer money would be to terminate Elon's governmental subsidized income contracts. He later
Yes,
wrote
it's
that I
weird.
don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done it months ago.
Again, pissing match. This is not. It's
On
literally
social media.
right.
If you wanted to start a feud, where would you start a feud?
Capitol Hill. You
Like the
bring
Taylor
me
Frankie, Paul, and the Mom Talk. I don't know if you guys watch any of that, but
no,
I thought it
but
was
like
great.
if you're
quite hilarious when it was put out that Elon Musk put out that if it wasn't for him, that Trump wouldn't have
Oh,
gotten
he
elected.
said he would have never won against Kamala Harris.
Come on.
right,
That's
and I guarantee you, no matter what, even without Elon or anybody, he was winning against her. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Look, here's my thing. I want a woman president. I do. I really do. I don't care. I want a woman president before I die. Here's the thing, though. I do not think she was, or I could see Russia from my house, or Michelle, or Hillary were the correct candidates. Jill Stein definitely wasn't. We're not even going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Or Elizabeth
We're
Warren.
hoping one day in our history we do have a woman president, but I don't think any of the candidates that have ever ran were a good
Exactly.
match.
yeah, I
I
agree.
don't think they were a good fit.
And I don't
You
think
need
in our
somebody-
time we're ready for a woman.
Oh, we're 100% ready.
Oh, I
for-
think we're ready.
I mean,
It's
I
just
think
has to
we're
be the
getting
right
there,
candidate,
but yeah.
And I
no,
think
I think it's
that women
Getting there.
should be very particular because that's who's representing them. Women should be very proud once we get a woman president. And
No,
I feel like they should be like, this is a good one. You know what I mean? She's not there just because she's a woman. There's there because she's good too. Like she's going to leave a mark, a positive mark, something to be proud of.
I believe that the best that would encumber the best female president would definitely be a mixture of Jackie Onassis and Kennedy. Now we're talking, you know, okay, not Robbie. We're going to leave him out of this. We're not talking about him, but we're talking Jackie and JFK. If you had a culmination of a woman with that gumption that JFK had and the style and class that Jackie had, there's no telling what our country would be.
Yeah.
Like in a good way, right? Like we're not saying negative.
Do you think there's a woman out there right now that hasn't ran for presidency that would be good for presidency?
Yeah, I think there's a couple.
I'm sure there is.
I think Chelsea Gabbard would be a phenomenal president.
Not Chelsea Handler. We're not condoning
Or Chelsea
that.
Clinton.
Absolutely not.
Not Chelsea Clinton either.
Christine, no. I'm sorry. I'll even say it. Fuck it. Nope. No. I'd rather vote my left nut into the presidency before AOC because both are fucking crazy.
I mean, Gabbert's a veteran too. You know what I mean? I think
no, but that's a good one. I think that would be a great one.
Yeah.
She served. She knows exactly what the hell war is. She's not going to make a stupid mistake. Like Hillary never went to war. Started a bunch. We won't get into
Do you
that
think a
part.
president should be in the war or have been in the war?
Not if they can nail policy down. Not, right. I mean, and I had a talk with a really good friend of mine that's in local politics, and he's in the Republican Party, and he sat in my kitchen today, and we were just talking about the elections coming up and stuff like that. He goes, "Listen," he goes, "I love Trump's policies." He goes, "But I don't like him." He goes, "I would be willing to give up a policy or two if it's not detrimental to have someone in there that can really bring us all together." He goes, because that's what we really need right now is someone that can just bring us together. He goes, say a couple things get slipped up here and there. Our security's good, national security, our economy's good. Now we got to bring people together. He goes, that's going to be the next big pull. I think he goes on both sides because both sides are just fed up with everything. Well, I think you're right. I think you're right. We both got to give a little to get that one person that can really everybody can get behind as best as can be. You're not going to get everybody. But
what is the most important thing you should be as a president? Is the policies?
I think it's more about how to handle yourself.
Confidence,
a strong personality, and be able to talk and compromise and listen. You can't get it your way all the time. You got to do the best that you can without pissing people off, and then you don't communicate. When communication gets shut down because of one side or the other won't communicate, and it's my way or the highway, you got to be able to compromise, and that's why it's politics, because that's what they got to do. A good business person. That's just my opinion.
They have good business ethics to be a president.
I don't think that matters, to be honest with you. I think what matters is that somebody needs to look at both sides of the aisle and make sure that they can see both sides clearly, right? It's a mixture. It's the compromise is 100% correct, but it is that, look, I believe in the Constitution and I believe in people's rights. I believe in this, I believe in that, and they stand behind it. No matter who's in their face offering them money, no matter who's saying, hey, I'll get you reelected, no matter what the outcome of whatever it is straight to the point. I am going to do what's best for this country, whether it's left or right. It doesn't matter who my party is associated with. And that's one of the biggest things that got lost. Our founding fathers saw that. They knew that. They did what was right for the country. If you think about half of the political parties we had back then, they're not even in existence anymore. And some of them, you would be surprised to find out the Democrats and what they actually used to support versus what the Republicans used to support, and how that's switched over the years. But it's, again, what's the best for the country as a whole, not what's best for my party or what's best for my constituents, what's best for the people that back me. It's literally what the average American family, what's the best for them. That's what I think.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it originally that the person that was not elected, like the person they ran against became the vice president. So you would have
A
pretty
difference
much
of
your
opinion.
opponent in office with you.
Forget when that got changed.
Yeah.
That was the original. I mean, that's a quick Google search if we need to. But
Yeah.
no,
Interesting.
that's honestly, I know, right? And if you remember, you always have a Republican vice president and a Republican president. You had a Democrat and a Republican. I mean, there was a lot that were interchanged at one point, but it is what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, we could get down what do we think the best president would be, what we could do, but at the end of the day, we can say whatever we want and do whatever we want. Unless you get out there and vote, it ain't gonna fucking change. That's the first thing.
Make
So
sure
you
you guys
can't
vote. Make sure you do
So-
your research.
stand behind somebody that you believe in. I will always go to the poll. I'm registered in one party, but I will vote for who I believe will do the best for my family and my community. And it doesn't matter. I voted for somebody that was not part of my registered party. My whole family got pissed off at it, but I said I think he'll do the best for that job. And you know what? I was fucking wrong, but still, I thought at the time I was right. So I did what I thought was the best thing. Was he horrible? No. Did he not do much of anything? 100%. Did he win a bunch of useless awards before he even took office? Yeah. But at the end of the day,
Who are we
I
talking
can't
about?
think about
Are we
it.
talking about Trump, right?
Nope.
Biden.
This is nope. You can keep guessing. I'm not gonna say.
Oh, okay.
But I think he was a lame duck president. That's that. If you can't figure it out from that, check us next week and maybe we'll reveal it. But anyway,
It doesn't
why don't
really
you finish,
matter. Your voting is your vote.
well, that's the thing, right? So
Yeah.
like,
It's private. I'm sorry.
I am always like, I voted for Trump, right? I did not vote for Biden. I'll tell you that. Like, this was.
I didn't vote for
this was-
Biden, but I voted for Trump. But I only because all I wanted to.
See,
I don't know enough about politics. I'm learning more now.
well, that's good. Here's my thing. Learn as much as you can and then learn some more because with politics, shit changes the left and right and sideways. Lines, you know what? It's funny enough. It's just like TikTok. You think you have an alliance one way and then you don't. And it completely fucks you right in the end. And it is what it is. It's the same with politics. You might think you have a candidate figured out. The second they take office, they do the exact fucking opposite. That's why they always say.
I need to start watching the news, or at least
Well,
like.
Christie was proof of that for us in New Jersey.
Facts. We're not even going to go into Hoffa. I mean, we can talk about Hoffa, another New Jersey and Pennsylvania finest. Let's fucking go. No, but you know what I mean? Like, at the end, I'm pretty sure they're still pulling body parts of them out of water banks and shit. But I mean, that's the thing. You know, everybody always has that opinion, but no one wants to see that common aisle. Back when I was younger, in like the late 80s, early 90s, you were able, even if you had a disagreement, I'm Republican, I'm independent, I'm Green Party, that was the big joke in the 90s. But you know what I mean? Like, no matter what party you were, you both came to a common ground, and both of you could sit there and have an argument or have a discussion, come to an agreement or a disagreement, and part ways still as friends. Nowadays, if you even broach the subject of politics, you're going to get bent over a barrel because, oh my God, he voted for Trump. Well, yeah, I voted for Trump. Do you want to ask me why I voted for Trump? No, they just want to say that I'm X, Y, and Z because I voted for him,
Mhm.
which is not the case whatsoever. But I picked the lesser of two evils.
Right.
That's how I looked at it. I looked at it 4 years. Can something get done by one individual over the other? Do I believe that the other one's going to make it through the 4 years? No.
Right.
So I voted the other way. But that's just my little rant so far. Anyway, you know, a good thing to get into is the spicy stories of the night. And before we do hit that, FYI, any of the ladies in the chat, anybody watching this afterwards, we are going to be starting spicy book talk readings for subscriber only lives over on the Tiki Talk. So make sure you follow the account, and that's going to be an interesting one to get into because I will be narrating it with red lights and a suit on and apparently a fucking mask that they picked out that I have to buy. So I'm not thrilled about it, but we'll give it a whirl, see what happens. Okay, Nicole, go ahead with our Streetwalker Diaries.
All right, guys, I have 3 stories for tonight. First one is a funny story. We decided that it would be a good idea to try something new. Dating for nearly 2 years at this point, and went to have sex in the shower. Foreplay happened. The shower was on. To add to the disaster, I knocked my shampoo on accident, but we shrugged it off. Last thing I knew, he slipped on the shampoo and we both went down. He cracked his pelvis. Nothing too dangerous. He was fine after some months, and I had to cut on my lip because I bit my by accident when we fell. We're not dating anymore, but we're still friends and we still laugh about it. So
I like how you're like cracked his pelvis, but it wasn't too bad. You cracked your pelvis.
I mean, you know what though? I would wear that like a badge of honor, right? Like, you break your pelvis on a bull. How'd you break yours? Under that Latin chick. You know what I
Has
mean?
anyone
Like,
ever had something physically happen during foreplay or
Never go swimming with bow-legged women.
exactly, because you get the no, I've been to the ER a couple of times due to carnal activities. What's up, Jason? How you doing? Very interesting shit. We'll save that for maybe Friday. We'll save how sex sent me to the ER at least 4 times. Let's go.
all right,
Not
guys?
a heart attack. Not a heart attack. Fun fact.
Second story, background. Earlier in the day, I had come across a Reddit thread about funny things to say as you release. And someone in there, I had read the suggestion of 10 points to Gryffindor. So fast forward to later that night, guys, if you don't know what Gryffindor is, it's Harry Potter thing. So fast forward to later that night, my wife and I were doing it doggy style, and I feel myself about to climax. I leaned forward and whispered before quoting her ear as I release. 10 points to Gryffindor! She punched me several times. I, however, was rolling with laughter the whole time.
You know,
10 points to Gryffindor!
that's
I will
just
fuck
ridiculous.
you up if you.
I mean, at least we're going to do the Hufflepuff next. You know what I mean? Like, Aloha Mora, bitch. Like, here's my Patronus for you. Like, there's 100 other nerdier things you could have said. 10 points to Gryffindor. Now you're scoring her on her doggy style. Like, that's just going to end in disaster. Like, you're going to get mule kicked off the fucking bed. Like, that's never going to end well. Ever.
No.
10 points to Gryffindor. Oh my god.
Like, you could have even been like, do you speak parcel tongue? Because I got a snake for you. Like, there's 100 things you could have done than 10 points to Gryffindor. Oh, I got your golden snitch. Like, there's 100 things you could have said that would have been a little more classier than 10 points to Gryffindor. I mean,
He
the
said he
balls
got
are
it off
not-
a Reddit thread. Like, come on.
Yeah, let's talk about credible
Must have been a
research.
Harry Potter
No, Reddit is not it.
freaking fan. I mean, if I was a Harry Potter fan, I might be like, that's kind of hot.
Are you
But-
role playing Harry Potter? Because if not, it's not. Look, okay,
I mean, it could
Yeah,
be.
one
Let me get
example.
those glasses and get that little.
I'll give you a fun example. I was in bed with this chick and she told me to roar. Okay, I swear to Jesus, and I'll put my hand on the fucking Bible right now. She said roar. Do you know what I came out with? A roar. Do you know why I do that for the tiny tiny? Because I'm hoping one day this person hears it and fucking goes, oh shit, it's the same sound. Because I got punched in the jaw. I thought it was hilarious. I didn't. She was not happy. I'm just saying, like, you know, don't tell me to roar. I'm mid thrust and you throw that at me. Like, what am I gonna come up with? Rawr. No, that wasn't the first. It was literally like I'm like got a cramp in my leg. I need electrolytes. This is like a 7-hour session at this point. You want me to roar? I'm telling you, I'm talking dirty to you. Like, fuck out of here. I love
That
Harry
was a good
Potter.
one.
The best thing I could think of is like if you're receiving fellatio, let's say, and when you're about
That
to,
I could say.
and then when
Okay.
you're about to finish, you could be like, pull out the old Mortal Kombat, finish him.
Oh my god, it sounds worse than freaking.
You
I
know
could,
what?
like
though?
looking down.
Finish
finish
her.
him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
I'd be
sounds
the
dirty
asshole.
and not in a good way.
It does sound dirty, but I think I would change it though. I think I'd be swallow them. You know what I mean? Like, like, be classy.
We're gonna be like KO, knockout.
Fatality wins.
All right, guys. Lastly, but not that bad. All right. No joke, true story. I was seeing this really tiny girl. Okay, it has to do with the tiny girl. About 13 years ago, shortly
Like
after my
Tiny Red.
divorce. It was purely a DS thing. And she really liked being spanked, told me what to do, and so on. And we always finished with rough sex. Anyway, she had lost her eye as an infant due to cancer in her teardrop, and she had a glass eye. So, not very obvious unless you looked closely. Anyways, after one of our sessions, I had her bent over the bed and I was going at her doggy style, and all of a sudden, I see something fly over the bed and onto the blanket. And I calmly ask her, "Was that your eye?" She says yes, and I just keep going until I finish. Afterwards, we laughed and cleaned up, and she says, "Well, now you could tell people you asked some girl so hard you knocked her eye out." Good times.
You know what? I've with their eyes rolled. There's a lot of things I've done with their eye. It is not knocked them out. I mean, kudos, because those things are fucking in there. Like, it's hard to take those things out. Like, it's not an easy task. I mean, the only thing I could think of, he's holding hair and, yanks back and pulls the
There
eye.
must be a lot of pressure, Like, she's going backwards, he's pushing forward, she's pushing back on him with her booty,
He's
and then,
pulling the skin off of her
it's like a
face,
slapping. And then it's
Kathy
so
Lee
much pressure. Boom.
See, I would have laughed too hard and asked her if she ate her spinach and called her Popeye. Like, I mean,
She didn't even have another eye. It was just a glass.
She never.
you know what the fucked up point?
I don't think so.
Honestly, I probably would have went over, held it until I got over to the eye on the floor, and then let it go on the eye. And then I could have said, "Look, it doesn't burn that bad." I'm just saying. I mean,
Holy mackerel.
I fucking can't. The problem is, I know somebody with one eye.
Oh, man.
So now I'm gonna go and ask him with the fake eye. Did it pop out ever while you were like mid thrust or some shit? Because could you imagine as a chick, you're looking back at your person's looking at you, and one of their eyes is in front of you on the bed?
So my buddy had a fake eye, and he would take it out, but honestly, it looked like maybe
like a half clamshell.
like almost like a clamshell. And he would take it out all the time. Like at the bar, he always took his eye out. Like I think his eye was out more than it was in when we were out partying. Like the dude always took his eye out.
Who's an asshole? No, I'm curious. Jim because the guy took his eye out, or me because I was talking about like releasing on the eye that was on the floor and say it didn't hurt that bad, did it? I mean, look, tell me I'm wrong, but Jim, if you saw that, would that thought pop through your head?
No, man, you got me on that one.
Really? You will go down on a hairy Amazon vagina and go all copper tone, in your mouth. But you wouldn't do that? I think that would be funny as fuck.
I don't think that would have popped in my head. I don't know if that would have popped in my
I don't know if that would have popped in my
Definitely
head.
wasn't her eyeball popping back in her head. That's for damn sure. She better clean that motherfucker off before she put it back in. I don't know what's on that floor.
Ew, how unsanitary was that? Fibers.
This water sanitary.
Releasing
Hey,
on
listen,
that, I
Vern,
freaking knew it.
Here's the thing, Vern. First of all, I'm not going to do that to a functioning eye. That's just ignorant. But if it's on the floor, I mean,
it's happened by accident.
True.
did you on a fake eye? Did you?
No, on a regular.
Real eye.
Oh, on a regular eye.
I've got it in my eye.
I've got it in my eye. I've got my own in my eye.
That's some skill.
Okay.
You don't have a big enough belly. I could never do that. It would have to be like a fucking boomerang. It'd have to shoot off of a wall and then down into like that shit would have to be like ping, 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 ping. Ah, God damn it, it's in my eye. Like, I guess it's a good thing that I have a huge belly and like a small pecker because that'll never happen. Thank Jesus. First time I can say little D is a good thing. Anyway, well, guys, I think that is what we're gonna leave you on as a little
Really?
piece of good thing. But I hope you guys have a great night. Don't forget, tomorrow's a better day with you, and you're fucking amazing. Click the link and subscribe. If you guys want to help fund the podcast or help us out with anything like that, those links are in the bio as well. And I just have to say, we haven't seen Jim. You remember we were talking about that lump that was on that was bothering us that just kept fucking sucking the life out of us, and then I haven't seen that.
Oh.
So yeah,